What's up? It's your girl Podcast Bae.
Yo, what's up? This is Sax B.
It's your girl Asian A.
My name is Hadusa Divine.
You are tuning into a Paralips podcast. Enjoy. Mwah. All right, welcome back to episode 22. I am your host, Podcast Bae. Your favorite bae, your man's favorite bae, your man's best friend's favorite bae. And for my guest today, I have Chef Hiro.
It's good. How y'all doing?
How are you doing?
So far, so good.
Make that smile a little brighter. You got something to smile about.
Yeah,
You guys
sure.
can catch him on social media on his Instagram at chef.hiro. And the same thing for his Facebook, correct? Without the dot.
Yep.
So
Exactly.
That's Chef, CHEFHIRO. All right. So first off, I want to know, where did this name come from? Because I think it's so neat.
It's actually Japanese. So the whole focus of my brand is good food and dope anime. Just food and anime. So I needed something that kind of stood out, that sounded good. And I looked up the Japanese word for hero, and that's what popped up. So it actually means hero and abundance. Secondary meaning for it, which it fits because like my food portions are huge anyway. So all of that fits together.
Okay. And you also have the dopest truck I've seen in Columbus. Well, I've seen, period, honestly. I'm willing to put yours up against a lot of others with the anime on there. So I know that you're very into it. What made you put it on your truck though and come up with the name as one whole?
It just seemed like a smart marketing move.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like when I came up with it, like I've only been cooking. I taught myself to cook in 2018. And then bought the truck and then opened the truck in 2019. So coming up with it, I was like, all right, if I'm gonna do this cooking thing, I don't want to do no soul food. I don't want to do no Sunday dinners. I want to franchise something. I want something that can be here in LA, Atlanta, over in Paris, you know, stuff like that. So the name, I knew the name would be important. The logo would be important. The backstory behind it, just any possible gimmick I can have a marketing advantage, I needed to put on there. So
okay. So as far as you becoming a chef, because I honestly don't meet too many Black men that can cook anything besides hot dogs,
top ramen.
That might be about it. Maybe bacon and eggs in the morning, maybe. Maybe. So just to take it back a little bit, what really got you into it? Was it something that you didn't know how to make and you like, well, let me look this up, and you kind of got into it, or how did that go?
No, I mean, I always cooked, like you said, I cooked eggs and chicken and stuff like that, you know, growing up and stuff. But as far as really, really getting into cooking, it was from me basically hating my job at the post office and trying to figure out, you know, a safety raft, like trying to figure out a way out. So it's like, all right, I can't do sports professionally or anything. That ship's sailed. I can't hoop or anything like that. I can't rap. I can't sing.
Have you tried to rap and sing? You might.
No, but I know I can. I'm not about to get on the same train as everybody else and try to rap.
I tried.
See, not for me. I can't, you know, draw. Already said school was out. You know, I started college at 14, so I already knew school, I'm done with it, never going back. And one day I was just sitting down and I saw people posting, you know, the Sunday dinner plates on Facebook. And, you know, my ego was like, oh, I can do better than that. Nah, it's not taking it serious. And then one day I was just making oxtails and posted a picture and somebody asked for a plate, of course. And I'm like, nah, I'm not doing this. So they're like, I'll pay you. I'm like, oh, well, bet. Yeah, I got you. I'll make it.
Like, now that you mentioned it.
Yeah. I'll go ahead and make you some. Then somebody else commented and a bunch of people comment. I'm like, you know what? I bet. Whoever wants plates, comment right here or inbox me and I'll make some tomorrow.
Okay.
You know, and do that. So like 40 people commented and wanted to order and stuff. So I'm like, all
Just
right,
based
bet.
off the picture.
Based off the picture. So
Wow.
I'm geeked. I'm like, oh, we about to run up a bag real quick. I went, bought
Right.
all this stuff. The day came and like 7 people showed up to pick up their food out of like 40, 50. So I took an L.
But you know what, that's better than zero though. Because if nobody would have came, I think that would have been super discouraging. So I always say one is better than none.
Yeah, but I spent like what, $300, $350, $400 on
Me and my
material.
family would have kept that in rotation all week. Leftovers.
For a week, leftovers oxtails for a week. That's a lot of grease too.
I might.
But from there, it just got better. I just, learned to take deposits, and it's like, oh, I can really do this. And, come up with a name, still working at the post office, come up with a logo, come up with a saying, and then, start posting it on Instagram, and then you start getting followers and you start getting better, start learning plating techniques and stuff like that. And it's like, oh, then people started booking me for like anniversary, and I'm like, I bet. And then it just keeps growing from there.
Right. See, that's dope. I love like success stories like that, where people is like, all right, let me just go ahead and jump out head first and see how this goes. And then it actually goes well for them. Like, I love hearing stories like that.
Yeah.
So I actually wanted to talk to you a little bit about your actual meals that you make, because yours is different than what we typically see around Columbus. So for those who don't know, can you tell them some of like your famous dishes?
So of course, the fan favorite are the tacos, but my tacos don't have like onions and lime juice and stuff like that, like traditional tacos. It's basically jerk based tacos. So I got the red beans and rice inside the shell, then like jerk chicken or jerk salmon or jerk ribeye, then a special Hiro sauce that I make that goes on top of it with cheese and cilantro. I also do like a jumbo lump crab, shrimp and grits. Then I've got like fried lobster tacos. I also have like oxtail quesadillas, jerk stuffed turkey legs, oxtail grilled cheese sandwiches. It's just basically a lot of randomness, mixing different cultures, different styles and stuff, and making it my own and just putting it out there, and people seem to like it. So
I am starving. So everything you just named pretty much sound good right now, honestly.
Yeah.
And you said you had did you say oxtail quesadillas?
Yep, I got oxtail quesadillas.
I've never even heard of that before.
Yeah, just stuff that I've never seen anybody else have. I try it and just make something out of it.
That's dope. Now, what's the bowl with the pineapple that you make? What is that called?
Oh, the pineapple bowl. So I got the Luffy bowl and the Goku bowl. So it's the hollowed out pineapple, but it's come with with my signature cranberry red beans and rice, and then 2 of the jerk proteins, and then I top it with cilantro, cheese, tomatoes, and a little bit of the Hiro sauce also on the side. And that's also a favorite too. So,
well, hopefully I'm gonna make it my business to get some of your food like pronto. Okay.
Definitely.
Now, is your food like based on a lot of spices, or is it pretty much mild and can pretty much, I guess, appeal to any customer?
Yeah, I make sure to make it mild so that it's not too spicy. So all of my meats are basically jerk, because Caribbean and African foods really, a lot of the seasonings are almost exactly the same and stuff, especially like Jamaican, Caribbean, Haitian food. It's all got the same roots and stuff. So when I season my meats, it usually I have to season everything a day before so that it gets inside of it. But I make sure to make everything mild, because I don't know everybody's spice tolerance, and I want everybody to try it. I don't want anything being too spicy. And you can always go back and make something more spicy, but you can't undo
it, right?
Already, yeah.
That makes sense. So I have like esophagus issues. So I'm gonna need some a little on like the milder side. But yeah, I'm gonna definitely come check you out because I have been watching this man for a while now. I was telling him this before we start recording. And I think that it's dope, like just seeing someone, you know, start off with a food truck from when I first like seen him. And then now he's working towards a restaurant, a kitchen. Ain't no hopefully.
Oh, yeah.
It's going.
Please don't say that much.
You know what? You gotta have faith. If you don't have faith, you don't have faith in it.
Facts.
It's gonna happen. Like I said, yours is different than what you see around here, and I can see something like that really thriving because a lot of us look for things other than, you know, the soul food, even though you can never go wrong with soul food. Or, you know, just the typical taco taco places and things like that. So yours being unique and it stands out, I think it'll definitely thrive.
Definitely.
You'll be all right. All right. So do you have any chefs or anybody that you look up to when it comes to cooking?
Not really, because I never went to like culinary school or anything. So I'm super freestyle. So I watch a lot of chefs. I watch pretty much everybody, you know, Gordon Ramsay and all that, because they do stuff that I can't. Yeah, they do stuff that I can't do because I don't have that culinary background. And there's only so much you can learn on your own. Right. You know, there's certain stuff that, like I tell people who are in culinary school all the time, like there's certain stuff that they teach you in there that you're not gonna learn out here. Trust me. Like I know, like I've done what I can, but there's always a barrier to what you can learn without, you know, that help or that previous knowledge that someone else has. So as far as looking up to chefs, I pretty much am forced to look up to everybody. Because I feel like everybody, you know, I can learn something from everybody. So in my eyes, if you've been cooking,
like my mom always say, take what you can that applies to you and then discard the rest. So
eat the meat, spit out the bones. That's
it. I'm gonna have to tell my mom, like I found something better to say. Oh gosh. Now, for someone that wants to like break into like the business that you're in, what are some tips that you could give them?
Stay focused. Number one, first and foremost. And then come up with a plan. Like a lot of people think, oh, I just jumped into it. It's like, nah, I didn't just, you know, wake up, quit my job, and then start cooking. This isn't no Disney movie. That does not work. I wouldn't suggest it. Don't do that. Come up with a plan, though. Come up with a plan and make sure you understand what you're doing it for. Like I said, planning is what separates a lot of people and their vision. A lot of people that do the cooking thing, like you said, they'll do like soul food or something, but it's a big difference between a hustle and a business, you know? So a lot of people have been doing this longer than me, but they're still like cooking out of their apartment or just doing Sunday dinners. But that's only because their plan didn't go farther than cooking out of the kitchen. You know, they
didn't even think to do that. Like
they didn't think to expand or anything like that. So when you come up with a plan, understand what your end goal is, but put some levels to it. You know, and once you break one, if you reach all your goals right now, come up with a new set and keep expanding, because you have no idea what you're capable of or your limits, to be honest. So
that was actually some great advice. I mean, as simple as it may seem, people skip the very important steps, and that's pretty much like figuring out that foundation and getting a solid foundation. And then they take off, and the next thing you know, they're back at home broke, or you know, didn't pan out, so they gotta you know, rip and run and figure out new hustles. So as simple as a lot of the advice may seem that you and I might give to people, like it's very essential information for sure.
Definitely. And a lot of people you just don't know, you know? So that's the one piece of advice I give people. Like, whatever your plan is, come up with some steps, stick to it, and then be smart about it. Like, a lot of people, can cook better than me and stuff like that. A lot of these people that you see that are still cooking out of their apartment, they cook way better than me, but they didn't learn other skills. So whatever you're trying to do, whether it is cooking or I don't care if you're doing waste beads or whatever out of your apartment, you got to learn different sets of skills to take it to that next level. So it's like, all right, you know how to cook. Okay. Learn some business techniques, learn marketing, learn how to talk to people, learn how to present your product a certain way. You can have the best product in the world, but if it's not wrapped the right way or presented the right way, people aren't gonna buy it. People aren't gonna rock with you.
What the heck is this?
yeah, that's just it. You gotta wrap yours up differently, present it differently. At the end of the day, it's a buyers and sellers. So if you are putting yourself as an entrepreneur into that position, you have to understand that there's an audience you're trying to sell to. So you have to be the one to bend and merge and just fold and do whatever you can to get them.
You was getting it over there. Okay.
Yeah, because you got to be fluid with it. You have to be the ones with that. Your audience isn't going to adapt. Like, why should they? They're the ones with the money.
And and you know what? They get bored easily. So you got to constantly keep reinventing yourself. Keep reinventing yourself over and over. And I think that's the part that people don't understand. They think, okay, this is my brand. This is what I need to do. And it's like, no, people get bored with that. You got to change up your look, change up what you're serving, customer service, things like that. So all very essential information. I sure hope y'all listening.
And there's always somebody new coming out too. So
always.
Gotta stay on
fresh.
Just keep doing it.
So as far as who works with you in your food truck, you have your family, correct?
Yeah. So my sisters, they help me run it and everything. I even have my dad and my mom there. My dad's on the grill, my mom's me and my mom just doing a little bit of everything and stuff. But primarily it's my family and stuff.
That's awesome.
I won't have to outsource until I get a building, but that'll be, that's the next step basically when you do get to a point where you're bigger and stuff. So
when you get your building, okay, we're gonna speak that.
So hopefully, say next week it'll happen.
It will, if you believe. So how is it working with your family? Because I love my family to death, but I don't know if I could work with them. So how is it working with your family day in and day out?
It's tough. Like every book, every interview, every movie, everything I've ever read about business and family says, do not go into business with your family. I absolutely see why. There's so much tension and back and forth. Because your family, they still look at you like, oh, you my little brother. You ain't about to tell me, you still just my brother. And I'm like, nah, I'm the boss here. Like, what are you doing? But it's still all love. So there's pros and cons to it. Those are some of the cons, but the pros is that it's family. A lot of your family is gonna go above and beyond for you, as long as you keep that relationship good and stuff. So it just depends. We've had our down times, but at the same time, when nobody else was there and I was out rocking by myself, my sisters pulled up.
That's real love right there.
Yeah. So you can't just sweep that under the rug as if it's nothing, because a lot of people, employees are gonna call off, your sister's gonna call off too, but they're gonna show up more than they don't, more than outside people too. So
I like that. I like that you guys are family oriented to the point where you can actually work together and it works, because a lot of people have tried it and it's like, I just can't. Like, I wouldn't be able to work with my siblings. I'm the bossy one, and it's like, I would definitely get on their nerves. And my sister, if she watches this, she's gonna kill me. But she thinks she's older than me, so I can see us just like butting heads all the time. So she let me She stays in her lane
Yeah,
because
we butt heads for sure. Absolutely. But still, be
that's family.
sparing. I wouldn't say that. Yeah.
So I want to know, before I let you off the hook, what's one of the craziest stories you have had at your food truck? Just like, was an obnoxious customer or somebody that just did something outrageous or like a crazy fan? Because
It's a lot.
I'm
It's a
sure.
lot. Yeah, it's a lot. People, I don't know, people get a weird like social media idea of who you are and stuff, and they be trying you. And it's like, I'm from Long and Champion, right? Like, you came all the way up here to try me. Like, specifically, you woke up on this Sunday because you knew you was gonna try me. It's like, why?
Is it the men or the women?
It's both. It's people in general. Some people, but it comes with the territory. A lot of people follow you, and then they already don't like you. Oh, it ain't that good. Why y'all talking about the dude food that much? It ain't that good. Blah blah blah. And then come up there, and they got it in their mind that they're not gonna like
Right.
anything you have. They're not gonna find any enjoyable experience. So they're
You
gonna
know
start
what?
stuff, with your sister out the front taking orders. They're gonna try to complain. They're gonna try to find stuff wrong,
Okay.
but it comes with it. At the end of the day, when you're doing business, that's gonna happen a lot. So you have to just remember the customer's always right. Serve them with a smile, and then let them get up out of here. Don't let it phase you. Man, I had people come, and people know I sell out quickly, especially when there's a special or something.
Mm-hmm.
It's pretty much
You
that's pretty
definitely,
much my
you
reputation.
definitely sell out
Yeah.
because I can't
So
get a piece.
yeah. So like a few times when we closing at 7, people come at like 6:58. And
Ooh.
me personally, I don't like turning people away. I'm gonna be 100 with you. Hey, I'm out of this, and that. I can make you this real quick, or give you a coupon for the next time, even though I'm not obligated to give you a coupon because you decided to come late. I'm
Mm-hmm.
still gonna try to give you some great customer service and offer you this coupon for the next time you try to serve it and
Yeah,
give you
that's dope. Because if you go over to McDonald's or Wendy's, they're shutting the doors and that's it.
yeah. And I don't like to do that. Like I said, I'm not Wendy's, I'm not McDonald's. I understand that my audience, you guys are the reason I'm even in this position. So
Mm-hmm.
I try to do everything I can, for great customer service. But a lot of people make it hard, and especially, being a Black owned business, it's a even bigger target on your back, to discredit you or anything. Even like Vontes Kitchen, people, I've never even met him before.
Mm-hmm.
But I done made posts like, yo, leave this man alone. Y'all
The
are
food is
trying.
good. I don't,
I've never even tried the food, but
good food.
it's like people are going out of their way to bring somebody down. And it's not, I'm all for constructive criticism. If you didn't like the food, inbox me or inbox him and tell him, hey, this, and that. Hey, your customer service with the person at the front, I didn't like it. It was kind of
Right.
rude and made me feel this type of way. I just wanted to give you a heads up. Give them a chance to correct the issue. I can't fix a problem that I don't know exists. Nobody can. So before you try to tear somebody down, I think a lot of people have to understand also, I didn't go to culinary school. A lot of us didn't go to culinary school or anything like that. A lot of us couldn't afford it. We are literally getting this out of the mud. We are starting from ground zero, learning this, putting our own money and our everything into learning this craft, trying to find a different way to make it out here. So I don't know. I just feel like a lot of people are target people, for the wrong reasons.
So let's
So
bring some joy back in this conversation. What what is your, let's see how I want to word it. What is your favorite place to take your food truck? Is it to a different city in specific? Is it here in Columbus?
um,
Is it a certain
I
event?
mean, that's the thing. My food truck, I don't really do pop-ups because my food truck is really tiny. So in 2019, when I opened the food truck, I rented out East High School's parking lot.
Okay.
And that's where my truck was every Sunday. So
Mhm.
after that, 2020, when the whole apocalypse started, I didn't have a chance, to bring out the food truck because the licensing office was closed.
Mhm.
So instead of sitting down and just waiting it out, I doubled down. I found an old restaurant that still had the kitchen intact, and I rented out the kitchen.
That's
So
smart.
just park the food truck on the side and take orders from the food truck, cook all the food in there. So I don't really have a favorite place that I park the truck because I've got a following. So anywhere I bring the truck, people are going to come out. But even so, I've only been at East High School's parking lot. I've done a pop-up just recently at Crafted Culture, and I've got one more on the 15th at Gravity. But other than that, I don't really bring the truck out a whole lot.
Do you plan on it in the future? Like once you get your building and everything established, maybe take it on the road?
Yeah. So once I get the building, I'll go ahead and get another truck. But this first truck, I'll fill it up with warmers and send it to call centers for little pop-ups and stuff like that. And then the other truck will be down in Atlanta to start that whole process up. I want to have a food truck there before I get a brick and mortar and repeat the process. Yeah.
Atlanta 2023.
Yeah.
So I'm excited.
Yeah, Atlanta shows so much love to entrepreneurs, man. It's crazy.
You know what? That is like the mecca for Black people, honestly.
Absolutely.
Whether it's music, food, fashion, anything, like that is like the melting pot for our culture.
Yeah, they show mad love down there, like crazy love, like
Would you
without even knowing you. Huh?
Would you consider moving down there, relocating?
Atlanta does a little bit too much for me, but even after I get this brick and mortar, I am going to get a condo down there and keep mine down here. So I'll just be back and forth.
Okay.
So 2 weeks down there, 2 weeks down here. So once I get the building, I'm gonna fly my cousins down here to train them. Mm-hmm. And then when I send them back, I'll send them back with the truck and then start that whole process and get stuff moving down there.
Okay. Well, it sounds like you got it all mapped out. Like I'm proud of you, regardless of what anybody says. Obviously, your food speaks for itself. It's very successful. You got the chain to represent.
Yeah.
Shout out to your jeweler.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
So you said that you haven't met Vonte, and as I was telling you, he's going to be on the second half of the podcast. So hopefully one day I can bring both of you two, and we all can taste each other's food. Notice I said we all.
I'm with it. I'm down for it.
I love seeing Black men like collaborate instead of, just constantly being, just friction between them, just in the same field. Like they say it's enough to go around, but it's definitely enough to go around when you guys are in the same like era, like the same realm, I guess, but you're not cooking the same type of food. So I think it makes it a little easier and less of like a conflict of interest. So
most definitely. Yeah, I don't think any of the food people here are beefing or anything. Like, cause Atlanta and Texas and LA, food culture is really big in, those bigger cities. So Columbus, we're just now really getting a food culture because I want to say we all came out. So it's I know it's me. I know there's More Than Soul Food with Whitney, Creole To Go, Allied Food Force, Fish Burger with Randy.
I've heard of that.
Tastefully Done by T. Let's see. Vontes Kitchen. Chef God.
I've heard of him.
Yeah. Pretty Chef, I think. And then I know I'm missing a lot more people. Designer Chef, of course. There's like a lot of us out here now that have really like done numbers, especially throughout the pandemic and stuff. But I don't think anybody's really like beefing with anyone. Like me personally, even me, I usually like when I get the building, I'm gonna have like Feature Friday where I take a different chef and have them come in and feature an entree.
That's
so whatever you make off it, you make off it. But I'm just trying to, bring eyes to people. Because even at my other location on Sundays, I'd let different vendors, so different clothing lines, different candle makers, whoever, Sundays set you up a booth right next door to the restaurant, right in the parking lot, right next door to the food truck. Sell away, sell your heart out, make pass your business cards out, get your product off, do as much as you can. So mostly dessert chefs were the ones hitting me up for those, but I also had a few clothing lines come and sell their stuff. And it's just, I figured the more eyes you get on everybody can eat,
for sure,
instead of being in competition.
And that's what it should be. Like, that's why, and honestly, that's why I feel like Black people are always in last, because we never want to collaborate. We never want to bring our brains together and work together to figure out what can we do to make this bigger for all of us. So for you to even, come up with that, I think that's a dope idea, especially the feature that you said you'll be doing where other chefs can come in. That's awesome. I've never heard of that.
Yeah, because I just figured it's really dope. Like all the chefs that I named there, even what is it? To Go For Your Soul, like he's a new chef, Chef Miller. Martian chef, like it's a lot of up and coming chefs, coming up. And I just figured if I started out of my apartment with no real help or anything like that and no shine, then once I get a platform, if I can take someone who's also starting in their apartment, they should go way farther than me. You know what I mean? I already know where I'm going. I have my own lane. So
because they have that blueprint that you'll be able to provide to them, or at least help them get theirs started. So
for sure,
it can definitely work. Just put our heads together. And I'm gonna get with you about this, about your idea. I actually had a few ideas myself when it came to all of the chefs and doing some events and stuff. So we're gonna get with each other.
Definitely. For sure.
Well, thank you for coming on. You got any last words to your fans out there? Because you definitely have some fans, whether they love you or hate you.
No, I'm coming back. I've just been, in this. It's a real hustle trying to get a building out here, man. It's really wicked, but it's part of the game. So I'm here. I'm just trying to make a move. Trying to get in.
Right. Well, I appreciate you coming on. You guys can find him on Instagram at chef, CHEF.Hiro, HIRO. I want to spell it like in English so bad.
Yeah.
And so chef, CHEF.HIRO, and the same thing minus the dot on Facebook. Make sure you guys go out and support him when he's open. Make sure that you guys are being supportive. And if you're going to give constructive criticism, like, do it in a respectful manner. Like, everybody's adults here. Like, come on.
Definitely.
Look, if they act up again, call me, okay? I'm just kidding.
Hey, man. It's weird. As soon as I come out the kitchen, everybody gets polite and stops talking sideways to my little sister on the truck. So.
Oh no, they can't be doing that to little sis.
Man, what? But she don't be going either though. So like, go ahead and do that at your own risk. I'm just let y'all know.
All right. Well, I'll see you guys back for the second half. Mwah.